Welcome, Dr. Sam Tack, College of Business students, and anyone else tuning in who wants to become a smarter leader in today's world. Our mission today is simple. Give you a real shortcut to mastering a topic that's, well, absolutely critical. Like our sources say, a business is in essence a vast collection of knowledge and information. It's what's behind the creation of benchmark products and services. So yeah, pretty important stuff. We're doing a deep dive into Chapter 11, Managing Knowledge and Artificial Intelligence. We're going to unpack how organizations actually harness, protect, and, grow their knowledge using systems, and how AI is just completely changing the game. This should really arm you with key concepts for your studies, and maybe more importantly for your careers down the line. And hey, if you find this useful, please do like, subscribe, follow, share it with your classmates. Comments help too. Okay, let's get into it. First things first, we need a shift in thinking. Knowledge isn't some secondary thing anymore. It's a core corporate resource.
Exactly. You have to think of it just like your equipment, your finances, your buildings. It needs active management, capture, protection. It's a strategic asset. You can't just let it walk out the door.
Right. So what is knowledge in this context? We throw these words around: data, information, knowledge.
Yeah, and they're not the same. There's a progression. Data is just raw facts. Think numbers, symbols, disconnected points.
Okay.
Then information is data with context. You organize it, give it meaning. Then you get knowledge, which is taking that information and deriving meaningful concepts, getting insights.
And wisdom.
Wisdom is the peak. That's knowing when, where, and how to apply that knowledge effectively to solve complex problems. It's about judgment.
That makes sense. It's like a ladder.
It is. And within knowledge itself, there's a really crucial distinction we have to make between tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge.
Okay, break those down.
So tacit knowledge is the stuff that's undocumented. It's in an employee's head. Think of that veteran mechanic who just knows how to fix something almost intuitively. He can't easily write it down. It's experience, intuition, skill.
Right, the know-how.
Precisely. Then you have explicit knowledge. That's the stuff that is documented, formalized. Think operating manuals, reports, databases, procedures written down. It's easily shared.
And one stays when an employee leaves, the other doesn't.
That's the critical difference for management, yeah.
Yeah. And our sources also mention 4 key dimensions of knowledge in a firm. First, like we said, it's a firm asset. Second, it has different forms, tacit and explicit. Third, it has a location, not just heads, but systems, documents, routines. And fourth, it's situational. Its value depends heavily on context.
Absolutely. All 4 are vital to grasp, and this ties into organizational learning. This isn't just individual training. It's how the whole company learns and adapts over time.
How did that happen systematically?
Well, companies do it by collecting data from their operations, measuring what they do, running experiments, sometimes just trial and error, and crucially, gathering feedback from customers, from the market.
And
then the key is folding that learning back into how things are done. Updating process, refining decisions. It's a feedback loop for the entire organization.
Okay, that brings us nicely to the knowledge management value chain. This is the whole process, right? Start to finish.
Exactly. It's the systematic flow. And here's something that might surprise you based on the research.
Oh.
Technology, the software, the systems, that's only about 20% of making knowledge management actually work.
Only 20%? What's the rest?
The other 80%, that's organization and management. It's the people, the processes, the company culture. Getting that right is the real challenge.
Wow, okay. So it's mostly about the human and organizational side. Let's walk through that value chain then. What's first?
First step is knowledge acquisition. Where does the knowledge come from? Sure, internal documents, transaction systems, emails, but also crucially from outside. News feeds, competitor intel, government data, market research. You have to bring external intelligence in.
Makes sense. Step 2.
Knowledge storage. You've acquired it, now you need to store it efficiently. This is where document management systems come in, digitizing, indexing, tagging, making it findable.
That you said tech is only 20%.
Right, because the best system in the world is useless if people don't use it. If they don't value it, if they don't contribute to it, it just becomes a data dump. People are key here.
Okay. Storage needs buy-in. What's next?
Knowledge dissemination. Getting the knowledge to the people who need it, when they need it. This involves tools like company portals, wikis, maybe internal social networks, and email.
The key is making it easy, I guess.
Absolutely critical. It has to be easy to access, easy to use, unobtrusive. Otherwise, people just won't bother.
And the final step?
Knowledge application. This is where it all pays off. You take that acquired, stored, and disseminated knowledge, and you use it. integrate it into business functions, revamp old processes, build new ones, create new products. This is how you actually get a competitive advantage from knowledge.
That whole process needs someone in charge, right?
Increasingly, yes. Many companies now have a chief knowledge officer, or CKO.
What's their job, exactly?
They design the overall knowledge strategy, the programs, the systems. They champion it. They act as that central point, that knowledge focal point. And they also have a big role in protecting the company's intellectual property. It's a strategic role.
Definitely something for our listeners as future leaders to be aware of.
For sure. And another key concept here is communities of practice, or COPs.
Okay, what are those?
Think of them as groups, sometimes formal, often informal, where people who share a common interest or expertise get together, share ideas, solve problems, and build knowledge collectively.
So, not necessarily defined by the org chart.
Often not. It could be engineers working on similar problems or marketers sharing best practices. They're great for reusing knowledge, finding new information quickly, getting new people up to speed faster, and even sparking completely new ideas.
Very cool. Okay, let's shift gears a bit now and talk about the intelligent tools helping with all this, AI and machine learning.
A huge topic right now.
Yeah, and maybe some misconceptions. Is AI basically computers thinking for themselves? Our sources seem to say not quite.
Not really, no. At least not in the way most people mean. For businesses, AI systems are primarily really powerful tools. Tools to help capture, store, and distribute human knowledge more effectively. And importantly, to find solutions in data that are just too complex or vast for humans to tackle alone.
What's driving this AI explosion now?
Several big forces converging. One, just the sheer volume of big data we now have. Two, e-commerce generating massive transaction data sets. Three, the Internet of Things, sensors everywhere creating data. Four, social media.
Data.
Exactly. And coupled with that, computing costs have plummeted while processing power has just shot up exponentially. So we can actually do things with all that data now.
Makes sense. Okay, let's get specific. What are some key AI techniques people should know? Maybe start with expert systems.
Right. Expert systems are designed to mimic the decision-making of a human expert in a specific narrow field. They use a knowledge base built by humans filled with rules, like if-then rules.
Give me an example.
Okay, a simple one. If it's currently raining and you are going outside, then recommend taking an umbrella. A real one might be for loan applications. If credit score 700 and a debt-to-income 40%, then flag for human review.
So it uses rules and data.
Yes, and an inference engine processes those rules against the data. It can work forward from data to conclusion or backward from a hypothesis to find supporting data. But key point, they devise based on logic and data. They don't usually make the final call.
Okay, advice based on rules. What about machine learning? I feel like I hear that term everywhere.
You do. Machine learning is different. Instead of being explicitly programmed with rules, these systems learn from data. They recognize patterns and change their behavior based on experience.
Like the Amazon example. People who bought this also bought.
That's a classic example. The system isn't told why people buy those things together. It just observes the pattern in millions of purchases and learns to make suggestions. It gets better as it sees more data.
Why is it booming now?
Better algorithms, way more data to learn from, and again, that cheap, powerful computing. And within machine learning, there's an important split. Supervised learning versus unsupervised learning.
Okay.
With supervised learning, humans essentially teach the machine. We give it labeled examples. This is a picture of a cat. This transaction was fraudulent. The machine learns to map inputs to correct outputs based on those examples.
So learning with a teacher.
Exactly. With unsupervised learning, there's no teacher. You give the machine raw data and say, find interesting patterns or structures in here. It might cluster customers into groups you didn't know existed, for example, discovering hidden patterns.
Fascinating. Okay, what about neural networks? That sounds complex.
They are complex, but the idea is inspired by the human brain. They use interconnected nodes, or neurons, in layers to process information. They learn by recognizing patterns and relationships in vast amounts of data.
Like the fraud detection example you mentioned.
Precisely. It learns what normal transaction patterns look like by seeing millions of them, so it can flag anomalies. They adapt as new data comes in. And deep learning is a type of neural network with many layers, capable of learning very complex patterns, often from unlabeled data.
But these aren't perfect, right? What are the limitations?
Oh, definitely not perfect. Big limitations. First, they need huge amounts of data to work well. Second, they can find patterns that are statistically valid, but actually meaningless or nonsensical in the real world.
So correlation isn't causation.
Exactly that. Humans still absolutely need to curate the data, interpret the results, and apply judgment. And a huge one, current AI has no inherent ethics or common sense. Human oversight is non-negotiable.
That human element again. So important. Okay, another term, genetic algorithms. What's that about?
This one's inspired by biological evolution. You define a problem and generate a population of possible solutions. The algorithm then evaluates these solutions, keeps the fittest ones, and breeds them, combining and mutating them to create a new generation of potentially better solutions.
So it evolves solutions over time.
Yes, it's really good for complex optimization problems where the potential solution space is enormous, finding the best combination of factors, for instance.
Cool. Any other key AI types we should touch on?
Yeah, a few quick ones impacting us daily. Natural language processing, NLP, that's how your phone understands voice commands.
Siri, Alexa.
Right. Computer vision systems, letting computers see and interpret images. Think self-driving cars recognizing obstacles or facial recognition. Robotics, using machines for tasks that are dangerous, repetitive, or require high precision. Manufacturing, surgery, logistics. It's often about augmenting human work, not just replacing it.
And intelligent agents.
Yeah, those are like little software helpers. Programs that learn your preferences and automate simple, repetitive tasks. Like a shopping bot finding the best price online, or maybe a chat bot handling basic customer service questions.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of tools. How do companies actually use these within their broader knowledge management efforts?
Good question. Let's tie it back together. Remember the three types of knowledge: structured, reports, data; semi-structured, email, video; and tacit, in heads.
Right.
So enterprise content management systems, ECMS, are key for handling the structured and semi-structured stuff. They help collect, store, retrieve, distribute it all. Part of this is often creating taxonomies, logical classification schemes.
Like organizing company logos, you mentioned?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or organizing research papers, project documents. Makes things findable. And for things like photos, videos, audio files, you often have digital asset management, DAM systems within the ECMS.
What about finding the people with the tacit knowledge?
Crucial. That's where systems for locating and sharing expertise come in. Basically, they're like internal directories or networks that help you find who knows what about specific topics, projects, or clients.
Saves reinventing the wheel.
Hugely. Saves massive amounts of time and money. Connects the person with the question to the person with the answer, even across departments or geographies.
And training, how does that fit in?
Through learning management systems, LMS. These platforms deliver, track, and manage employee training and development. Online courses, compliance training, skills assessments, it's all managed there. Helps ensure the workforce has the right skills.
And you mentioned collaboration tools becoming more important internally.
Absolutely. Things like internal blogs, wikis, social networking platforms tailored for business use. They help share information informally, foster communities of practice, especially with remote or hybrid teams.
And for our student listeners, you also brought up MOOCs.
Yes, massive open online courses. Many universities and platforms offer these, often free or low cost. With traditional education costs rising, MOOCs are a fantastic, accessible way to keep learning, explore new subjects, and pick up specific skills. Really opens up possibilities.
Definitely worth checking out. Okay, so most of that is about managing existing knowledge. What about creating new knowledge?
That's where knowledge work systems, KWS, come in. These are specialized systems designed to support knowledge creation and discovery.
Who uses these typically?
Highly skilled knowledge workers. Think scientists, engineers, designers, financial analysts, people whose main job is to create new information and knowledge.
And what roles do these workers play?
Our sources point to three key roles. 1, they bring external knowledge into the firm. 2, they act as internal consultants, sharing their expertise. And 3, they're often change agents, driving innovation and new approaches.
So what do these KWS tools actually need to have?
They need powerful capabilities, strong graphics tools for visualization, advanced analytical tools for modeling and data analysis, seamless communication tools for collaboration, robust document management, and critically, a really good user-friendly interface so the tech doesn't get in the way of the thinking.
Can you give some concrete examples of KWS?
Sure. Computer-aided design, CAD systems used by engineers and architects are a classic example. They drastically reduce design time and cost for everything from cars to buildings.
Okay.
3D printing is another.
Yeah.
Creating physical prototypes directly from digital designs saves time and resources compared to traditional methods.
Right, rapid prototyping.
Exactly. Virtual reality, VR systems for immersive simulations like pilot training or surgical practice. It allows for safe, repeatable practice of complex tasks.
And augmented reality, AR.
Yeah, augmented reality AR is fascinating. It overlays digital information onto the real world. That yellow first down line in football,
Mm.
that's AR.
Ah, okay.
But think bigger. Maintenance instructions overlaid on equipment for a technician, virtual furniture placement in your real living room via an app, new kinds of marketing experiences, huge potential there.
Wow. Okay, let's bring this home. For the Dr. Sampak College of Business graduate students listening, how does understanding all this KM, AI, KWS directly impact their future careers?
It's becoming fundamental. I mean, think about even an entry-level role, say a sales assistant. The job description today likely involves managing customer data in a CRM, that's knowledge management,
Right.
researching potential clients using online databases and tools that involves information systems and maybe AI-driven insights. Handling administrative tasks efficiently often relies on workflow systems. These MIS skills are no longer optional extras, they're core requirements.
So understanding these systems gives them an edge.
A huge edge. Because basically every job is becoming an information job to some extent. Knowing how knowledge flows, how decisions are supported by data, how AI tools can be leveraged, that makes you a much more valuable asset to any organization. These roles leveraging MIS are growing, not shrinking.
That's a powerful takeaway. Okay, so that really wraps up our deep dive into managing knowledge and the really transformative power of AI in business. We've covered a lot, from the basics of knowledge to the value chain, AI tools, and practical systems like ECMS and KWS. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it valuable for your studies and thinking about your careers. Now, as you mull all this over, here's a question for you to think about. We talked about tacit knowledge, that really valuable stuff stuck in experienced employees' heads. Beyond just trying to document it, what's maybe one innovative way a business could use AI to help capture or leverage that invaluable tacit knowledge, especially from its longest-serving people? We would genuinely love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below, and please, if you found this helpful, take a second to like, subscribe, follow, and share this deep dive with others who might benefit. Your engagement really helps us out. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.